Hi and welcome to our podcast, Keep It Quiet, a Muffle podcast. And with us today we have Adam, who is head of marketing at Muffle, and we have the pleasure of picking his brain about some marketing topics. How are you, Adam?
I'm good, thank you, Tony. Looking forward to this, my first podcast.
Here we go. So, how did you get into marketing and why?
Interesting question. I guess like many people, I didn't decide I wanted to be a marketer from the very beginning. I've always been fairly good at writing. I did a degree in writing at uni. Sort of my first job out of uni, going back many years now. I was a copywriter for an SEO agency. This was back when SEO was really starting the boom. When it was a really big kind of thing, big movement from traditional marketing into digital marketing and SEO in particular. I was a content writer, worked with a couple of agencies, and went from there really. You can't really work in an agency or an environment like that without picking up different bits and seeing what the world's like and what the sort of environment is. And I just developed from there really into really sort of messaging and then the analytics and all of it. And I've worked in the industry more than sort of 10 years now. Picked up bits along the way. Here I am.
Amazing. First and foremost, so in terms of advertising, where do you start?
Yeah, that's a hard one, tough one. So I've been with the company since we first started really. Put together the marketing plan from the beginning, the advertising, that kind of thing. We really started from scratch, as I'm sure, Andy mentioned in previous podcasts that we didn't really have many direct competitors at the time, didn't really have many people to emulate, so we had to sort of start from the ground up. To cut a long story short, I think what we really did was, in the early days, came up with an idea of how we were going to make some quick wins, how we were going to get off the ground, get ourselves established. And that sort of led us into coming up with 4 sort of rough advertising groups, sort of people that we wanted to target. Not people as in demographics, I'll get onto in a sec, sort of groups that we could think about when it came to putting together our Google ads and that sort of thing. And those 4 groups sort of begin with looking at the sort of sales funnel and how far away or close to people are from making a sale. Right. So we've got one group, the closest group, and those are the people who are looking for something really specific. They know exactly what product they want. They want a particular panel in a particular size. They've got a job in mind. Tends to be architects, contractors, that kind of thing. Then above from that, we've got people who've got an idea what they want. They want some new panels, they need a new ceiling fitting, that kind of thing. They have an idea of what job they need to do, but they need some help picking the products, or they want to choose for themselves. But either way, they're not quite there yet. They can be anyone from contractors who've been given a job, or they can be, direct clients, restaurants, offices, that kind of thing, that know they need to do something, but aren't really sure what.
Not sure how to.
A step up from that, you've got the people who've got a problem and are looking for a solution. So these are the people who know they've got an acoustic challenge. They've got a noisy restaurant, or they've got a boardroom where nobody can hear each other talk, but they don't know anything about acoustics. They don't know where to begin at all. They don't know what products they need. They don't know what products are available, anything like that. And then a step up from that, the last sort of group, the people who are sort of furthest away from the sale, if you want, are the people who don't even know that they need our products. They don't know they need them acoustically. They don't know that they need them or want them aesthetically. Completely new to them. So by thinking about these 4 groups of people, we were able to put together some of the early advertising campaigns. So we'd make sure we had campaigns running that targeted those people who knew exactly what they wanted. We'd have campaigns that were targeted for people who were generally looking at panels or ceiling tiles, or even underfloor insulation. And then a step up from that, you've got the people who've got a problem and are looking for something really specific. They know exactly what they want. They want a particular panel in a particular size. They've got a job in mind. Tends to be architects, contractors, that kind of thing. And it really went from there, I guess.
Okay.
We've sort of tweaked as we've gone along. It's changed massively, especially as new products have come on board. Initially the fourth group, the people who wanted products aesthetically but didn't necessarily know they were shopping for acoustic products at all, those guys we didn't really have products for in the beginning, but as we've sort of developed, we've got a full offering. We now sort of engage with all four types of people, really.
That's amazing. I mean, especially to keep that going in this landscape where things are always changing. So, I mean, like, what tools do you use? What tools do you think are best, have you found best, when targeting your audience?
Yeah, so we've got to approach those people completely differently. And again, to keep it sort of straightforward, if we stick with the four groups, so the guys who know exactly what they want, we tend to target with Google Shopping. All of our products at an individual customized level available in Google Shopping. So people searching for a really specific niche product, hopefully they find us straight away in Google searching for that product. The people who are looking for a solution, they're going to ask questions. They're going to go to Google. They're going to ask questions. My restaurant is too noisy. What can I do about it? There's too much echo in the meeting room. What can we do about it? We've got glass partitions all the way down the meeting room, which we've got in here. How do we combat that? So we've got to go and look and come up with Google text ads, display ads, all kinds of different ads that answer those questions, show them that we've got the solution to that. And then the people in sort of group 4, the people who we want to inspire, we've got to show them the product. So those people we're going to show ads on social media a lot more.
Okay, yeah.
It's a lot more visual, a lot more inspirational. Muffle Timber, one of our most successful products, acoustically great. Lots and lots of people buy it because it looks great, not because it performs performs so well acoustically. And the only way you can do that is by showing them what they can do in their houses, what they can do in their offices. And we look for people who aren't even looking for that kind of product. People looking for home inspiration, bedroom ideas, kitchen ideas, all that kind of stuff. We'll push the right products to them.
There's reach everywhere. It's just about knowing how to get them.
Absolutely. You've got to understand how each platform's got its own, its own benefits, its own drawbacks, its own sort of demographics. We've got to pick exactly how we use them in the right kind of way. We've learned as we've gone along, what the different platforms do for us, how we can really make use of the people that are on there and what they're doing and that kind of thing. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I guess that just leads me to a final question, which is, what are the typical challenges you face when going on an ad campaign and using these tools? Yeah.
Biggest challenge is data for us, specifically sort of conversions data, I guess. Ultimately, we want to push with whatever's being successful.
Of course.
Working out exactly what is successful is a challenge for us. And that comes down to the fact that while we are an e-commerce business, acoustics is an interesting industry in that it does require quite a lot of customer service. Okay. It's not easy to understand if you're new to it. A lot of the jargon, a lot of the specifics, people don't know what they're doing. And with that, it means that there's a lot of interaction with the sales guys. They do a lot of amazing sort of customer service work, really helping people solve problems, helping contractors get the right product and all this kind of stuff. And naturally that means that we don't necessarily have a real nice smooth customer journey that can be tracked online.
Okay.
If you've got a straight pure 100% online e-commerce business,
Got all the data right there.
Then you can more easily see, okay, we put this money into this advertising, it delivers us this. With us, it's a bit different. People will enter the sales funnel, the sales and marketing funnel, enter and leave it at different points. They'll come back to us. They'll reach out to us in different ways, trying to marry all that up, marry all the data up, and really understand what the customer journey is, and what's successful and what works is probably the biggest challenge for us. We've got to do some of it manually. We have to use some great tools to sort of work that out, really. It's hard. It is. It's real hard. But it's working. It's working so well for us. We've seen a lot of growth in the last few years. Some channels have been especially successful for us, and we've gone back even. We try something once, try it again. We'll tweak it and go again. We've recently started quite a lot more PPC through Facebook and Insta, and seeing real sort of success there again with our inspirational products, putting them in front of people who are not necessarily engaged with acoustics. Of
course, it's all testing,
already.
I guess.
A lot of testing, a lot of trial and error. It has to be.
That's just then. If you're listening and watching, make sure you follow us on Facebook. That's Muffle, and Twitter as well, and Instagram. So, I mean, that's all we have time for. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Remember to keep it quiet unless you're talking about us.